Hey everyone, thanks for joining me again today. I'm going to be discussing some supplements that I use, some healthy vitamins and nutritional aids. And this is great for people with GI problems, and it's great for people with autoimmune disorders as well. My autoimmune disorders are esophageal Crohn's and lupus, but it also works for all the autoimmune disorders. It's just a healthy regimen, and even if you don't have these problems, this is just what I found to be a really healthy regimen, and especially for GI problems and GI autoimmune disorders, I found a way to actually be able to absorb the nutrients better. So this is something that's good for everyone, but especially if you have these problems. It's taken me a long time to figure this out, a couple of years, but people ask me all the time, well, what vitamins do you take? How do you get that extra nutrition? So I definitely wanted to sit down and share that with you today. So if you've been liking these tutorials, please subscribe to my channel and like this video if you found it helpful. And as always, please leave comments or questions, concerns, things you'd like to hear about. I love to hear from you. And if you'd like more in-depth or more information, please check out my blog. I'm going to link it down below, the Autoimmune Digest. And if you are just really enjoying these videos and like to join our community, please join the community on my blog. It's not just for people with autoimmune disorders. It's for everyone, and if you do have an autoimmune disorder, hopefully you can connect with some other people, and if you have a loved one as well, it's great to hear from other people that have disorders like this and have helpful tips. So it's open to everybody. Don't feel like you can't join if you don't have an autoimmune or GI disorder or anything. It's for everybody, so we'd love to have you. So today, by popular request and a lot of people asking me about my regimen, I have some vitamins to share with you, and there's quite a few, and don't feel like you need to take them all. Tailor it to what you like and what you need. But one of the best facts I've ever learned, and this actually came from a nurse at the Vanderbilt IBD clinic. She was so sweet. She always really talked to me and asked me how I was doing when I checked in, and actually most of my helpful information came from this nurse, and I'm so thankful to her. Nurses make such a big difference in our lives, and I was just so happy that she took the time to really talk with me about things that were nutritional and diet related, because that's what ended up helping me. And she said something to me that I had never even considered, and she said, well, you need chewable vitamins. And I was like, vitamin's a vitamin. Like, what? Does that make a difference? And she was like, yes, like you need a chewable vitamin because you're not going to absorb it unless it's chewable because of your Crohn's disorder and, you know, having GI problems. So if you're in that boat of having GI problems or an autoimmune disorder like Crohn's or ulcerative colitis or something like that, this is really helpful. And just overall, I just feel like chewables are a better way to go, but they are hard to find. And it's hard to find a brand that doesn't have a ton of sugar in it or other things that's going to mess up your GI system. So I promise you from experience over the last couple years, I have spent a ton of money in vitamins. And so I'm hoping to save you that money. But don't feel like you need to go out and buy all these at once. I would suggest adding one at a time, see what works for your body. If you get one that doesn't work, you know, eliminate it. You can always try a different brand. For the most part, I like to buy these on Amazon. I am an Amazon Prime member, so that just saves me a little bit. You can get these at the grocery stores as well, just because of being able to find it on the internet. I probably will link it at Amazon, but feel free to see if they have them at your local grocery store. I just find it's kind of spotty as to whether I can find them or not. So probably the number one thing that's helped me, well, it's kind of tied, but this has been so great. It's a turmeric curcumin, I say that wrong, sorry, chewable vitamin. It's got 500 milligrams. You can take, I usually take 2 of these with breakfast and 2 of these at dinner, so I take up to 4 a day. I think you can take up to 6 a day, but I like to use turmeric on my food. I sprinkle the seasoning. But Vitafusion is my absolute favorite brand. I can really trust them. It's gluten-free, and it does have some sugar in it, but they always taste really good. You want to take them. You're not going to forget to take them because they taste so good. So I definitely would recommend this. This helps with inflammation, and it helps with inflammation all over. It does help your pain, and for some reason it does really help the GI tract as well, I guess, just calming the inflammation in the lining of your GI tract. So this is probably the #1 vitamin I would get, but it's also tied with this little guy. My grandmother sent this to me probably around Christmas time, and I had been really struggling to find a multivitamin. I just didn't like the ones I tried, and a lot of times it was overlapping with the other supplements I like to take better as a chewable, and I just really couldn't find one I liked. And my grandmother sent this to me, and I was a little skeptical because the ingredients are some of them are a little wonky, but these are incredible. They're called 8 Greens. She got them from QVC. You can also get them from the 8 Greens site. I recommend QVC though, because you get one for free, and they're kind of like airborne if you're used to that. So they come in this little box. I like to get 4 at a time. To me, that's the best deal. But they come like this in this little packet, and it's made from real greens. So it says spinach, wheatgrass, kale, blue-green algae, spirulina, chlorella, barley grass, and aloe vera. So you can kind of see here what they look like, and they are amazing, and they're tablets. So you get a little tablet out, you put them in. I like hot water, so they're almost like a tea. To me, they don't taste good in just tap water, but of course that's up to you. But it's the kind of more of a treat when it's hot, especially when it's colder weather. It's kind of like you're having tea. So I really like that, and I'm gonna just read off the facts on the back here because the benefits are really amazing. So there's as much vitamin B6 as six cups of spinach, so that's crazy. As much vitamin C as 6 oranges. Vitamin B5 is as much as 15 cups of broccoli. Vitamin B12 as much as 7 cups of milk, and zinc as much as 2 cups of edamame. So they go through that on the back, but I mean, honestly, you're not going to be able to eat that many vegetables in a day, and especially if you're someone who's not absorbing their vegetables that well, like someone like me with Crohn's and GI problems, then you kind of need to overload your system a little bit, because that way you absorb what you should be absorbing. And this just keeps me really healthy. I can tell if I miss it. If I stop taking it for a couple of days, I just don't have as much energy. Which with these conditions, you really don't have any energy at all. So wherever you can get energy is wonderful, and it helps with your immune system. So I was taking some vitamin C by itself. If you don't want to do this, the Power C Vitafusion is great. They're chewables. And I also have my bag of tricks down here. Liposomal C. I got this from my holistic doctor. It did help. It's soy-free and gluten-free, vegetarian. I'm not sure if you have to order this through a holistic doctor or not, but being liquid is great. So you want to look for chewable and liquids. That's your best way of absorbing things. So you can do this like as a little extra, if you're fighting off a cold or something, these as extra, but really I've been able to eliminate them because I like this 8 greens so much. But if you're somebody that doesn't care for the 8 greens, then you can always go this route as well. And this is DaVinci Laboratories, and this one is Vitafusion. Again, another great thing about Vitafusion is they're all made in the USA. You can never find products that are actually made in the USA. And I don't know, I just kind of thought that was pretty cool that it was actually made here. So these are great alternatives, or like if you're really coming down with something, just for like a little extra boost. But I will say I was so skeptical about these 8 greens because like I had tried to make bath bombs, and I finally figured out a way that I love to make natural bath bombs. But if you've ever tried, making natural bath bombs is really difficult, and then trying to make them colored naturally, super difficult. So I had tried the spirulina as like a colorant, and so when I saw that in this package, I was like, ooh, I don't know that I want to take this. I was really skeptical, but of course, grandmother knew best, and this has turned out to be one of the best gifts she's ever given me. I'm so thankful to her. So a little shout out to grandma here, but they are wonderful. I would try them. You won't be disappointed. I think there's probably a guarantee on them. I'm not sure. They are 10 calories a tablet, so that's not bad either. They don't have a ton of sugar. They do have some stevia in them. Which stevia is besides coconut sugar, stevia is really the only other sugar I use in different, well, I don't use it, but if a product has it, then that's a benefit to me. I do really well with stevia. So you can see drop, stir, and sip. So super easy, and that is a lot easier than eating all those cups of greens every day. So thank you, Grandma. Love you. Little shout out to Grandma. So the other thing I like to take is, I guess I'll show you the tablets. And I did show you in the migraine video the Nun, N-U-U-N is how it's spelled. The Nun that's just electrolytes. Those are great. I drink one every morning, and they're not super sweet or anything, but they taste super good, and that hydrates you, and it's just wonderful. So I add that to my purified water in the morning. If you work out, it's great to have an extra one. Or if you have a migraine or a headache, it's great to have that second one during the day, just to kind of rehydrate you and try to do the best you can at getting rid of that migraine or headache. So I do that every morning as well. But this is the Immunity Blend by Nun, and it has ginger, turmeric, echinacea, elderberry, zinc, 10 vitamins, minerals, and it's only 2 grams of sugar and 15 calories. So that's great as well. Of course, everything I'm showing you will always be gluten-free because I am 100% gluten-free. I think it saved my life. Honestly, my diet has saved my life. And so everything I'm going to show you is gluten-free, so you don't ever have to worry about that. But these are really great if you feel like you're getting sick, or you just feel like you need an extra boost. And I like blueberry and tangerine and orange citrus, so that's great. Great flavors without being overpowering. I have a lot of nausea, so the things I'm showing you do not have like a lot of, I mean, they are good and flavorful, but I can take them even when I'm nauseated. I have a ton of nausea with my rare form of Crohn's. So I definitely would get these. I will link the regular Nun and these as well. I get them from Amazon, but of course you could get them wherever you can find them. I just think they're a good deal on Amazon. So the next thing in my bag of tricks is chewable iron, just because it is easy to become anemic with these autoimmune disorders. And also I just felt like I wasn't having the energy. I wasn't having any energy at all, and I thought this would help, and it did kind of help increase my energy. But I also take them because I thought it might be something to help with my migraines. I just thought, and it would help me sleep better. I have noticed that this is really easy to take. It's the only iron I can take. They are for kids, but of course they are chewable tablets, and they're natural factory, 20 milligrams, chewable tablets. I absolutely love these things. I have seen a difference for trying these, and they come a little chewable tablet like this. They don't really taste like iron. They really have a great taste, and these are for kids, so of course they are yummy. So if you have kids that aren't sleeping really well, iron is great too as a supplement. So, and it even says easy on the stomach, easy to absorb. So if you see stuff that's chewable or tablets or that's liquid and it says easy to absorb, that's why. Thank you so much to that nurse that took the time to talk with me. It's been one of the most helpful hints I've gotten along this journey, and it has been a very lonely journey and hard to figure out things on my own. So for the people that have taken the time to help me, I am so grateful. And let's see. I like to take biotin, and this is Vitafusion again, so gluten-free, all those good things. And it's free of high fructose corn syrup. That's great. They put that on there as well. Unfortunately, we still have to worry about that. So I like to take the 2 biotin just because with lupus, I have noticed a difference in my eyelashes. I can touch my eye and 5 will fall out at a time. You start to worry that when you touch your eye and 5 fall out, you're just worried that you're going to look kind of strange without eyelashes. So I like to take the biotin. It's really helped fill out my eyelashes, and I was really worried about losing hair with lupus. I know these are just kind of vain things in the long scheme, especially when we have so many health concerns, but it does make you feel healthier. And if those are concerns you're having, if you are noticing hair loss and loss of eyelashes, I definitely noticed the loss of eyelashes, then this is great. So that's not something that's like, I would say, necessary in this regimen, but if you've noticed that, that's great. And then I used to take this B12. I was really low in B12 because I wasn't absorbing my nutrients. The 8 greens has kind of taken care of that, but if you don't want to do the 8 greens, this B12 is really great. And I do like to take magnesium for migraines, so I got this from Thrive Market. I do like to take the magnesium. I forgot to include this in the migraine hacks, but I am going to add it on, so this is great. I would just say, especially if you have headaches or migraines, maybe consider that. Another thing is, almost all the time with autoimmune conditions, you have a deficiency in vitamin D. So the last things I have to share with you are, I love this. I got this from my holistic doctor, so you probably need a holistic doctor to get it, but these are licorice tablets. Since I don't produce as much acid, I'm an underacid producer, he prescribed this for me, so I take these after meals. And of course they are chewable, so that's great. So if you're somebody who's having indigestion from being an underacid producer, this is great, as well as the Egyptian licorice tea he recommended for me. So I always recommend going to see a holistic doctor, and they're just wonderful. He's helped me so much, so I would definitely go see one of those as well. They can really help focus on your diet, some stress relief, all different kinds of things you wouldn't even think of to do. So grateful to him because this has helped my indigestion a lot. So this might be something that you ask about. And it's ricin, and it is licorice. So that is something to think about. They're really yummy. I used to hate licorice, but my holistic doctor has helped me love licorice because it helps so much. So that's something to think about. And then also this IB Guard, one of my GI doctors recommended it, and my holistic doctor recommended it as well. You can get this off of Amazon, and this is great. They're like peppermint tablets, and let me see. So if you have GI problems, these are great to eat before meals. And they just look like this. They're cute little rattly tablets, and they work really well. So that's something to think about, just an extra little supplement. That's great if you have GI problems with your autoimmune conditions or your GI disorders. So of course these two are more optional, just depending on your needs. And my holistic doctor did prescribe some enzymes to eat with meals, and that has been a lifesaver. It's really helped me be able to digest my food a lot better. So if you're in that boat, I definitely suggest going to a holistic doctor. I didn't share that with you because that is a prescription, but definitely check them out. He has helped me so much, my holistic doctor. I can't say enough good things about him. And the holistic doctors are really caring, and they just really want to help you the best they can, which is just so wonderful. So go and consult one, just see. And I know holistic doctors get a really bad rap. I was actually watching Seinfeld the other day, and there was a really funny episode about a holistic doctor that was just wacko and everything, and that's in the 90s, so I feel like they've had a bad rap for a long time. But don't be scared to go try and see one. Their suggestions are really intuitive, insightful, and they're such a compassionate, caring presence. It's great to have somebody like that guide you when you have these disorders. So please go check it out. Don't be fearful about it. If you go in with an open mind, that's so much better. And I know in the medical community, sometimes they get a bad rap as well. I had asked my GI doctor about going to see him, and he just thought it was crazy. So I thought it was crazy for a while too, but then I was like, I'm just going to go do my own thing. I think he could really help. And it turns out he's been one of the most helpful doctors that I've ever had. So they help with so many different things. I definitely would go consult one if I was you. And if anything, they can just be a really caring, compassionate person to guide you and help you not only with supplements and different diet and everything, but they can also help you with maybe things that you haven't thought about trying, like massage therapy, acupuncture, yoga therapy, meditation, so many other insightful things that are not Western medicine related, but that work so well, and that this is stuff you won't be getting from your regular doctors. So it is a great resource. I highly recommend it. And until next time, may you be well. Bye.